I hate learning, and I won't take part in it. So this is Rimworld. If you don't know what Rimworld is, it's like Dwarf Fortress, but it's a colony of space tramps instead of a massive pile of alcoholic toddlers. I've not played it, but since I've been throwing my body weight into the dwarf game, I figured this was the next logical step. This appears to be some sort of wife selection screen, which is a good start. In the end, I've gone with normal progression, normal difficulty, normal crash landing start. There's no point overcomplicating it. If I wanted that, I could throw in loads of mods. I may as well, be boring for at least a little while. I'm just going to drop in randomly and see what happens. How could I possibly fail with a team made up of such superstars as a psychopathic housewife, a pacifist taxonomist, and an industrial man-destroying machine? I didn't give them these needlessly cruel nicknames, by the way. That's apparently what the game thinks is suitable. You get to pick between fucking funky, smelly, dirty, stupid. After landing, I immediately get them to work on doing what humans do best, which is destroying the ecosystem. And while the little shelter is under construction, I spend a disturbing amount of time trying to equip Loser with a rifle. If only there was some resource that would have given me the knowledge beforehand. And this is the result after one in-game day. That's pretty impressive, I think. In real life, if me and 2 other people could build a shelter this quality with proper beds to sleep in, I'd be very content. Even the goofy looking slug deer sliding around wouldn't upset me. Sustenance will come in the form of potatoes, which apparently don't grow in mud, because plants famously hate soil and sunlight, especially when combined with moisture. Something unfortunate compared to Dwarf Fortress that I'm noticing is that I'm forced to organise my stockpiles a wee bit, because stuff left in the rain just slowly disintegrates into dust. Whereas in Dwarf Fortress I can just pile up all our belongings outside in a big flammable mountain. Next is to collect food. My lead hunter displays their shooting prowess by majestically blowing off a deer's hoof, hitting the target that will deal as little damage as physically possible. After she finally deals with this after 6 to 8 business days, I decide it's time for a little electricity, which is a surprisingly easy process for 3 not massively intelligent people. Somehow they know from memory, I presume, how to build a fully functional wind turbine, which is ridiculous. I could barely start a fire. They're out here building power stations out of scrap metal and toothpaste. Wind energy, though, is nice. It's sustainable, it's clean, and it's great for the environment, as you can see by the land I've completely stripped clean of all organic life to maximize power output. A big part of the reason I want this power is to create an actual workshop. So it's time to start constructing that, which is when I learn one of my colonists has developed pathetic lungitis. Wind turbine engineering? Piece of cake. Inhalers? Not so much. Also, is that how asthma works? You're just minding your own business and suddenly you have asthma? I don't think so. The game then tells me that minor asthma, if left untreated, could be fatal, which is completely ridiculous, especially considering the treatment is just to lie in a blue bed instead of a green one. And to top this off, we have a visitor known as the Dreaded Baby, which is actually pretty anticlimactic. I was expecting the Antichrist, or at least some sort of angry super mutant, but it's just a guy. He doesn't do anything. No, the first enemy is instead an insane hare, which the dog uses as a chew toy. Though watching this unfold does convince me that maybe I need some actual flooring, so that there's a distinction between outdoors and indoors. Ah, they've picked out a name for the settlement. Excellent. Chessland. I think visitors might be quite upset by that. You'd expect Chessland to have, like, I don't know, a chess theme. Chess-themed roller coasters, a big chess-style castle, checkerboard flooring, real ornate stuff to distract from how, mind-numbingly boring chess actually is. They might throw a moody when they see it's actually just a single, unfinished chess table, so like 3 table legs. Welcome to Chessland. Warg. Now begin the raids. An alleged group of hostile raiders appear. It's just one guy with a knife, who immediately runs into the surprisingly effective spike trap, gets shot, and then kicked to death. But his scar is apparently still itchy after he's dead, so maybe he's just pretending. Of course, it's then my pacifist who gets mauled by lynx and develops an infection in their foot, but hey, at least the settlement's looking professional enough that traders arrive. I even have a big walk-in freezer because the game won't let me make a little one. And by little, I mean like a piece of furniture, not a whole room. The traders chat among themselves about lovely topics such as nuclear weaponry and government conspiracies. What fucking government? You can't blame the gosh darn government anymore when there isn't one. It's just you. Unfortunately, their wares are also pretty piss poor, so I have to shoo them away upon discovering they basically have an entire caravan's worth of dog leather. The future is looking bright though. Smelly's developed immunity, one of Larissa's lungs is 3 times bigger than the other now, and I have an electric cooker which ends up being very fast. Spirits are so high, one of the colonists does a little sculpting. White patience. This carving bears an illustration of a solitary sex bot riding a wasp, wearing a single sandal. Is the wasp wearing the sandal? Could you not have just done some macaroni art? Of course, no wonder they're acting up when they got the muffalo walking around. I kill a cannibal, just in time for slavers to arrive. Famously more ethical than cannibals, apparently. Not a particularly nice thing to see, but I could do with the extra body. And they're selling this teenager super cheap. That's fine, you can train teenagers, they're malleable. Give it a few months, he'll be incredible at everything. Get the polar bears out of the bedroom! It's only after I buy him I realise he is apparently a spoilt rich kid, or at least was, and will literally refuse to do anything besides basic chores and violence. Lance, as the boy is called, will now be put to his official test in his new role as Meat Shield. And he proves a solid enough knife block for an angry cannibal, so he can stay. I briefly considered taking up cannibalism actually, but I refuse to believe there aren't unforeseen consequences of some kind. Like all my colonists turning into Wendigos, or the less interesting option, which is they just get Kuru. Some more traders arrive with a few items. Wow, you really weren't kidding when you said a few items, were you? It's time to ignore them and go for my first caravan journey, to collect an animal angerizer from 2 raccoons. This is a free 4-day trip where I will send the 2 most competent homicidal members of my colony and leave Smelly behind with biggest dickus. And it takes Larissa about 30 seconds from leaving camp to get malaria. Not only this, but after arriving I learn it's not just 2 man-hunting raccoons, it's 2 man-hunting raccoons with rabies. So I have a major panic moment. But luckily they manage to kill the raccoons before they get infected. I take the animal pisser offer and begin the journey back, when at base camp an alert sounds. More rabid animals. Are they telepathic? Regardless, we're in a situation now with 2 useless colonists against rabid guinea pigs, which may well turn them into a couple of foamy boys. So it's time to lock every door down and relegate people to a new indoor zone. As according to the game, as long as a door doesn't open in view of an animal will ignore it. Traps once again make themselves useful, and the other guinea pig is killed once the caravan arrives back. Thankfully, without infecting Batty Bug Chaser with yet another deadly affliction. These traps are great, by the way. A group of friendly alpacas arrives, and then I ask my colonists to make some more decorations. Really? This is what you come up with? Holding a chunk of jade and sweating heavily. Stop making fetish art! The next sculpture is made of solid jade and sounds nice, but is apparently so ugly it will actually depreciate the value of a room, which is depressing for the poor bastard who made it. A jailbird falls out the sky, but in my panic to make a prison cell he just bleeds to death, so no chance of Clockwork Oranging myself another person just yet. I finally finished researching gunsmithing, which means I can now get to work building the meat shield and actual gun. No, not any armour, he doesn't deserve that. An actual okay jade statue is then completed, though despite being a chess-themed sculpture, its title is Vomit Number 8. Which begs the question, where art vomits 1 through 7? No time to worry about loose vomit, as someone fleeing bandits has asked for our help. I accept, and the first hurdle immediately presents itself. Incapable of violence. With how combat focused everything seems to end up being, it's a big deal that I keep getting pacifists. The meat shield takes a pretty bad shanking, but that's what he's for, and the bandits are killed, driven off, beaten in split screen Halo. And then comes hurdle number 2, and it's a humongous one. J2 is a chronic crack addict. He has crack on him, and he has crack in him, and he's about to rapidly start running out of crack. And my first set of raiders with firearms has arrived, meaning I have to deal with a non-violent crack addict who will refuse to help defend his new home as it's attacked by gun-wielding terrorists. I panic build some sandbags, which ends up being really effective actually, and while I can't quite kill both raiders, I'm now substantially less scared of guns. I go to capture the one bleeding out the floor, but not only are they unquestionably loyal to Evil Inc., one of their lungs is completely missing, so they're dead no matter what. My battery shed is working nicely at least, and the game claims batteries will explode in rain or fire, or if someone speaks too loudly next to one, so I've stuck them in a separate granite box to keep them safe. A mad boomalope. That can't be a problem, surely. What? So that's why they're called boomalopes. So now I have one medium rare colonist and a massive forest fire to contend with. The next attack, luckily, is tame enough that I even get a prisoner with intact organs this time. I just need to whittle him down, give him Stockholm Syndrome. Although I'm now very, very frightened of boomalopes. All it would take is one bad day and they could come in and blow up my entire settlement. But I can finally make automated gun turrets, so it's time to really ramp up the defense situation. Which I'm gonna need, between some sort of ancient danger in here apparently, and Poundland Escobar over here running out of crack. I'm gonna need more firepower. Everyone's getting food poisoning as well. I think it's because he's cooking the food while extremely high. This idiot then botches everything, and my prisoner doesn't get fed for 1.5 seconds, and flies into rage, even though I had him on the cusp of being one of us. He breaks out of the cell that I made all nice for him, and immediately gets blown back into it by a shotgun. What a waste. J2 has been having these dazes, where he just stands there for hours, and finally his lack of crack causes him to go full toddler mode and start breaking things. Fucking cut it out! To distract myself, I go and scout for more components to mine, and then realise the solution to all my problems, the cool stuff that's hiding in this ancient building. I'll build a door onto it, I'll take a quick peek. Oh fuck, oh shit, no. Oh, just torn to ribbons. There's so many of them. I've proven I can fight a few angry hobos, but I can't fight a cache of fucking Intel Pentium inside super dev bots. Guns do next to nothing. My only hope is the animal angerator. It's working, but I did not consider the consequences. Now all I have left in the colony is a sleepy crackhead, literally sleeping through World War III. The game shows me pity and sends a pretty crappy little guy in a hitman costume to help. Cryosleep pods! The robots keep prisoners. If I can free the prisoners, they could help me stop the robots. We could rebuild. Godspeed, Edmund. Quickly. Open the friend pod. Why are their names red? Close the friend pod. Yeah, too late. Edmund is killed by 200 bullets on a single cum bomb. The upside is that Smelly is still alive somehow. The prisoners / team of high-tech murderers really do hate the robots and get rid of them. But then Smelly steps outside and